Howdy, howdy, howdy. Here is the Tenet weapons tier list. Really speedrunning, pissing people off here. I found a preset, but it didn't have all the weapons. That's why the images aren't the same. I had to add the rest of the Tenet weapons that weren't on the list. But, yeah, here it is. All the ones. This is, again, before the Glaxion came out. So I'm not sure where that would go on the list, but I guess we'll see in the future how strong it is. So let's see. I've actually used like all of these, so I'm fairly confident in where I can rank these. So first of all, Tenet Envoys, S tier, big boom, heat-seeking, fucking rocket launcher. I mean, what else can you want in life? Plus auto-loading, I think it has, right? Amazing. Diplos is D tier. Well, C tier, I guess, just because it's stats. It's just not that amazing. Its gimmick is dog shit. It's used in Profit Taker as a meta weapon, but outside of that, it's a pretty horrible weapon, to say the least. Spirix is actually decent. I'd put that in B tier. It's not bad. It's basically just a straight upgrade to the Kuvasir. Like, imagine Kuvasir, but good. Tenet Tetra is actually definitely S tier. I don't know if any of y'all have used it, but it is a pretty great weapon. It's an amazing assault rifle, and the big boom on it is also very, very satisfying and very effective. Big PP damage. I remember back in the day, energized munitions used to work on this when it first came out. It doesn't anymore, but I would run energized munitions on Nova so I could prime all the enemies to explode as well. And then with energized munitions, I could shoot 4 times with the explosion before reloading instead of once. The good old days. But then they nerfed it so munitions doesn't work on it anymore, which is depressing. But it also has really good ammo economy since it's not technically an explosive weapon. It's a rifle with an alt file, so the ammo's pretty good too. Flux rifle. Plasmor is... Plasmor is a tough one. I'm going to put it in S tier just because it is a pretty strong weapon, and it can take you in most places in the game, but to level cap it's kind of rough, but everywhere else it's very strong. It has insane AoE, not hard to use, not hard to mod. It's a very, very strong weapon. Tenet Flux, Tenet Cycron is A tier. It's actually really good for both killing and priming, plus it's a battery weapon, so you never run out of ammo. Tenet Detrin, I tried to make this work. It's actually not that bad, I want to say, but it's also not great. So I'll put it above Diplos in C tier. Plinx is alright. Plinx has a big boom. You can make it work. I'd say A tier. It has decent damage, and also because it, isn't technically an explosive weapon, it also has better ammo economy than most big boom weapons. Grigori, the scythe that shoots a glaive. This thing actually does crazy damage. I actually really like this weapon. It can do big damage with the glaive, and the glaive can bounce around hitting everything. It does a lot of damage. Agendus is, it's a sword and shield, but as far as sword and shields go, it's not insane. And there's a lot of problems with the big AoE. It doesn't do as much damage as like the glaive on Grigori. I would put it in B tier. Probably above Spirix though. Tenet Ferox is okay. It has its uses to apply magnetic. I saw a really cool use that Ace Invasions did. I always bring him up. He's always got great videos. But he used it to apply magnetic so that he could put Arcane Vortex, I think, or Melee Vortex on the one big blade that shoots out a little glaive that floats in the air and does fire damage. You get it from logging in. Crap, what is it called? Shit. I can't remember. Well, it's a big blade, and if you use a certain skin on it, it bugs out and is like triple the size it should be. It's really funny. It's also an okay weapon as far as damage goes-ish, but honestly, it's only in B tier because it has niche uses, right? Even then, though, I guess, I don't know. Actually, yeah, we'll put it in C tier. C tier, C tier, C tier. Tenet Exec is bottom of C tier. Well, no, B tier, just because it has good stats. And That's because its gimmick is doo-doo water. I thought it was going to be godly. I bought a bunch of exec Rivens before the Dante updates thinking it would be meta and I could sell them for a ton of plat. But I was wrong because the slam changes did not affect the gimmick on Tenet exec. It's still unaffected by mods, which is some raging bullshit. But it does have insanely high crit chance and stats in general. It's a great heavy blade, but the gimmick's pretty terrible. Tenet Livia is just, it has no special gimmick really, it's just a really good slash Nikana, or dual-handed Nikana, right? It's pretty good. It does some big PP slash damage, but it's hard to have the right amount of slash with what progenitors are available, so you actually end up having more damage by having a bad progenitor percentage than you would if you had a high percentage. Unless you can get like 60% impact, and then a negative impact Raven, then that would work. Tenet Flux Rifle. This thing is actually unbelievably powerful. It does not get nearly enough credit. I really want to put an S tier, but I have to be honest, I would be biased, but I do think it's the top of A tier. You're gonna have to ignore that. It sounds like my neighbor set off their alarm by accident. I don't know what's going on over there. Okay, they seem to get it. We're good. Sorry about that. So yeah, here we go. And yeah, I'd say this is the correct order. I actually want to put Tetra. I think Tetra's the best Tenet weapon right now. It's so freaking strong. And then we'll move Cycron back up here. Grigori's up here. Livia's at the bottom of there. Yeah, I'd say this is accurate. That's going to be it for the rankings. Let me know what you think, if you disagree or agree with any of the things, and maybe subscribe. Oh, whoa. Adios.